Hello, hockey fans. This is Dan Rusanowski. You're watching Bay Area Sports Wrap.
William, just a tough result tonight. You guys got down 3-0, but had a pretty good comeback though.
Yeah, as I said, coming down 3-0 is never easy to get back from that. I think we did a great push there in the third, but couldn't get it to tie. We had a lot of chance to tie it up too, and I thought we deserved to tie it up, but it didn't come today.
One of the bright spots maybe for this game was the power play. It seemed like you guys were moving the puck pretty well. One big change on that unit is John Klingberg. What does he add to the power play?
A lot of poise, with the puck. He's been doing it a long time in this league, so he knows what it's about, and I think he's a great playmaker out there, and he helps it a lot out there.
What did you see from your line tonight with Mike and Tyler on it?
Yeah, we had some good chances. I think we deserve some goals there. We're getting better and better every game, I feel like. Mies did a hell of a job, Toff too, so we just gotta, we gotta capitalize on those chances, but it was better.
Go ahead. So how you've been with Mike for a lot of camp? How have you felt your guys' chemistry's come along?
It's getting better and better, I think. Obviously when you play with a new guy, you're gonna learn where you're going to be at, and I think he's really good at adapting to that, and I'm trying to adapt to him too. I think we're getting something going here, and he's going to get even better and better.
5-on-5, what do you think is maybe the biggest thing that needs to be cleaned up at the start of the season?
I think we give off too much, in the back. Our forwards, we got to track back better. We got to make better plays with the pucks. They get way too much 2-on-1s, breakaways and stuff like that. And, we got to clean those stuff up.
What do you think of that Ducks team? Obviously they got some, like this team, they got a lot of young talent. What do you think of that team over there?
Nothing.
Yeah.
You came in this game kind of from the get-go, move in, you got into it a little bit. How are you approaching these preseason games as you get ready for the regular season?
Yeah, just getting better and better every day. I think I think that's something you gotta do. You gotta come here from the big long summer. You're just gonna get better and better, and that's what I think we've done as a team. And we gotta keep doing that.
Is that something you kind of learned over the last 3 years about preseason and how you want to approach it?
For sure. It's about getting ready for October 9th. So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna get better.
From last year to this year, how have you seen Will Smith grow?
He's always out there when it's when it counts, and he makes plays that a lot of guys sees, and I think he did that last year, but I think he's doing it even more this year.
All right, you guys were down 3-0 in the second period, so what was said during the second intermission?
Yeah, you got to keep believing in the other souls. I know we get on too many chances there in the second, and when we're on our toes and we stepping on the gas, I think we're a real hard team to beat. So that's our mentality going into every third period.
There's a lot of new guys, especially on the defense. Do you think it's just going to take a little bit of time for you guys to gel, knowing with all the new faces you have here?
I don't know. It's for everybody. We coming into the season, we want to be a good defensive team as much as offensive. So we're gonna look at some video and look what we can do better for next game, and we're gonna get better here, guys.
Okay, thanks, Hockey.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Will, one of the bright spots tonight was the power play. One big difference there is John Klingberg. What has he added to the power play?
Yeah, he adds so much. I think he's done in the league for a while, so it's fun being out there with him, and he definitely knows what he's doing.
Looked like there at the end, you took a hit from Vegas Seneca, and she went right up to you, gave him a cross check back. How have you seen the Ducks-Sharks kind of rivalry grow from the end of last season, maybe through a little bit of preseason so far?
Yeah, I think it's all part of. We're 3 teams in California, so I think there's obviously a rivalry just there, and can't take anything from anyone. Obviously, it's going to be a rivalry with our teams. There's a bunch of young guys coming up, and it's been a big rivalry for a while.
What do you think of Phil Kurashev tonight? Like he's just moving all around. You guys had some good chemistry. What do you guys think of? What do you think of how he played?
I thought he was great. I think he was obviously had a bunch of good years in Chicago, so I think his hockey IQ is really good, and so it's nice to play with.
Ryan Rosasi kind of talked to us this morning. He said you kind of challenged you a little bit. When you talked, you guys met this morning. What was some of the things he might have said to you, just about maybe ways you can improve your game, I guess?
I think there's always ways you can improve your game. I just want to be a leader for the team, and I think we have a responsibility to bring this team back. So I think we're just trying to do everything we can to get some wins.
Do you put a lot of pressure on yourself in that regard to try to get this team going in the right direction?
I mean, you can call it pressure, but it's also something that you take pride in. I think being so young and getting to have these opportunities is pretty special.
I think it's going to take a little while with all the new guys on defense that they run in to take some time to gel when the season starts.
Hopefully not. I think we're obviously getting to the end of the preseason here, so I think come October 9th, hopefully we're gelling.
How have you approached these preseason games compared to last year?
I think it's just different all around. I think having different preparation, I know what it's going to be like, and kind of getting ready for the year. And last year, getting acclimated to California, moving here, being away from your family, so it's a little different.
How do you think your camp is going? Where is it going well, and where can improve?
I think I just touched on it there. Just preparation-wise, I think it's better, and talked about earlier in camp, putting on some weight, so I feel better in the corners and stuff. So I think come the start of the year, I should be ready to go.
So, well, you guys didn't score till early in the third period. So, what do you think went wrong the first 2 periods?
We just weren't creating enough, to be honest. I think obviously in the third we had a big push there, but it was too late.
Okay. Thanks, Will.
Tyler, how much stock do you put into these slow starts here that we've seen kind of for the last couple games? I know you didn't play in both of them, but just it being a preseason compared to the regular season coming?
I mean, I don't think necessarily it was a slow start for us. I thought we had some really good opportunities to go up. I mean, I should have scored. We had some really good chances, and I mean, who knows what would have happened, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it was a slow start. Obviously, them scoring makes it seem that way, but personally, I didn't feel necessarily that way.
The second period seems to be a little bit of a struggle the last few games. Obviously, like you said, you didn't just play, but maybe what went wrong in the second period?
We were turning pucks over. I think that pretty much sums it up. Whenever you give them, speed, and when they're not having to play as hard, they have a lot of skill over there. And I mean, Askey made some huge saves for us, but you can't expect them to make 5 saves on a breakaway a night.
The power play seemed to be a bright spot tonight. One big difference on the power play is John Klingberg. What has he added to the power play?
I mean, he's been one of the best power play D-men in the league, in my opinion, since I've been in the league. So good along the blue line, and I think he just understands when to make the plays. And I mean, obviously, it seems a little risky maybe, but he's been doing that for 10+ years.
You have one more preseason game left. You guys pretty think you're ready for the regular season at this point?
I think we have 2 games left, don't we?
2. Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, same thing. We got to keep working to get better, and obviously, we want to win. So we'll see kind of what happens the next couple of games here.
Speaking of the blue line, you guys have a lot of new faces this year. As a veteran, when do you think you guys will be able to gel with your the linemen in the past? When do you think you've seen that?
I mean, we haven't necessarily been together as a full group yet. I think the past couple of days we've kind of been together, but not really. So, obviously the more we're together, I think it's going to start working a little bit better. I think we still did a really good job. Like I said, we were giving up breakaways. It was kind of turnovers and breakdowns where I think in the D zone we were doing a pretty good job. And at the end of the day, teams are going to get good chances. So we got to do the best we can to defend and play more offense.
Looks like you'll get Matt back here for one of these last 2 games. So how nice would it be just to get him back in the mix, integrate with you guys in a game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a big part of our team. I feel like we've been talking about him every single day, so we miss him too. Don't worry. It is what it is. Guys are injured. Guys have things going on throughout the entire season, and we gotta be prepared. And this is a great opportunity for guys to step up. And some guys are playing maybe a game or 2 more than they might have. But it is what it is. So we got to be ready to play a man down, or with or without him.
Reed came out on that first shift and really flipped the momentum there. Is that what he can bring to this group here?
For sure. I think he brought energy every single shift. I've been playing against him for a long time, from when he was in St. Louis, and he's definitely a presence out there on the ice. And I I thought he played great tonight.
What do you think of Michael Meese's game tonight? Obviously, you've been moving around the lines, but looked like your line had some jump to it.
Yeah, we had some, like I said, we had some really good opportunities. I should have had 5 goals, realistically. Especially that one in the third. He gave me that really nice pass. So I think he's been getting better every single day in camp, and I think it's obviously a learning curve for him at the end of the day, his first NHL training camp, and there's a lot of nerves and excitement. And now as camp's moving further along, it's NHL lineups. So I thought he held his own tonight, and I think he's only going to keep getting better.
From last training camp to this one, what are the biggest differences you see with Will Smith?
I mean, he's really good with the puck. Obviously, he's always going to be able to make plays, and I think tonight he did a really good job of demanding the puck and having the puck on his stick, and it was a really nice play, obviously, on Ecky's goal.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.